Have you ever wondered how our ancestors managed their emotions in a world devoid of modern conveniences? A thought-provoking question, isn't it? They turned to philosophy, specifically Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that taught the art of emotional resilience and tranquility. Stoicism empowers us to take control of our emotions, to understand and manage them, rather than letting them control us. So are you ready to journey back in time, to learn from the wisdom of our forebears? Let us delve into the 7 tactics of ancient wisdom for managing emotions. The first tactic is the power of perception. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of emotional resilience, speaks profoundly on this power. It teaches us that our emotions are largely influenced by how we perceive the world around us. You see, the world is indifferent. It doesn't change based on our feelings, but our feelings can change based on how we perceive the world. If we see an event as negative, our emotions echo that perception. But if we shift our perception, viewing the event as a teaching moment or a stepping stone to growth, our emotions can align with this new perspective. This is not about denying the reality of our feelings, but rather about reframing them in a way that serves us. Through the power of perception, we can choose to view any event not as a setback, but as an opportunity. Remember, our emotions are not dictated by events, but by our interpretation of those events. The second tactic is embracing the present. Stoicism imparts a powerful tool to manage our emotions, living in the present moment. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future, but rather it advocates for focusing our attention on the here and now. This practice can be a potent antidote to anxiety, which often stems from our worries about what lies ahead, or regret, which is tethered to our past actions. Imagine your mind as a spotlight. You can shine it on the past, illuminating memories and regrets. You can cast it into the future, bringing forth worries and uncertainties. Or you can focus it on the present, highlighting the reality of the situation and your ability to handle it. By keeping our spotlight on the present, we can observe our emotions without judgment, understand their root cause, and respond to them in a balanced manner. That's the essence of emotional management. By focusing on the present, we can better control our emotional responses and achieve peace of mind. The third tactic is acceptance and detachment. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson about the power of acceptance. It encourages us to understand and accept that there are things in life we simply cannot change. This might be the weather, the passing of time, or the actions of others. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, but rather it means understanding our limitations and focusing our energy on what we can control. Now, let's talk about detachment. Detachment in Stoicism doesn't imply indifference or lack of care. Instead, it is about distancing ourselves emotionally from things beyond our control. It's about not letting external circumstances dictate our internal state of mind. When we accept the uncontrollable and detach from the external, we free our mind from unnecessary stress and anxiety. We allow ourselves to navigate life's ups and downs with an even keel, rather than being tossed about by the sea of circumstance. Acceptance and detachment free us from unnecessary emotional turmoil. The fourth tactic is practicing virtue. To Stoics, virtue is the highest good, the foundation upon which all else is built. But what does it mean to practice virtue? It means embodying the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. Wisdom, the ability to discern what is truly valuable from what is not. Courage, the strength to face adversity with equanimity. Justice, treating others with fairness and respect. And moderation, maintaining balance and not succumbing to excesses. Living a virtuous life, according to the Stoics, doesn't just make us morally better. It also contributes to our emotional well-being. When we act virtuously, we align ourselves with our true nature and purpose. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and tranquility. It helps us manage our emotions not by suppressing them, but by understanding their place in the bigger picture of our lives. Practicing virtue leads to a fulfilling and emotionally balanced life. The fifth tactic is resilience and endurance. Stoicism, a philosophy rich in wisdom, places great emphasis on these 2 qualities. The Stoics believed that life is a battlefield and we are the warriors. They encouraged us to be resilient, to bounce back from the blows that life deals us, and to endure, to withstand the trials that are thrown our way. This is no easy task, for adversity often brings with it a wave of emotions: despair, anger, frustration. Yet, Stoicism teaches us to manage these emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding and accepting them. It tells us that it is not the adversity itself that causes our distress, but our perception of it. By changing our perspective, we can learn to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. This is where resilience and endurance come in. They are our shields against the emotional storms that threaten to overwhelm us. They allow us to stand firm, to weather these storms, and to emerge stronger on the other side. Resilience and endurance enable us to withstand emotional storms and emerge stronger. The sixth tactic is viewing life as temporary. This nugget of wisdom comes from the ancient Stoic philosophers who constantly reminded themselves of the transient nature of life. Life, as we know it, is fleeting. Every moment that passes is a moment gone forever, never to return. Stoics believed that by keeping this reality at the forefront of their minds, they could manage their emotions more effectively. Imagine being aware that every relationship, every achievement, every possession is temporary. This perspective can help us to appreciate what we have while we have it, and not to grieve too heavily when it is gone. Think of it like a beautiful sunset. It's stunning, it's momentary, and then it's over. But the impermanence doesn't make the sunset any less beautiful. Similarly, the fleeting nature of life doesn't diminish its value. By viewing life as temporary, we can avoid becoming overly attached to things, thus managing our emotions more effectively. The seventh and final tactic is applying wisdom. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient times, advocates for the use of wisdom in all areas of life. It's not about knowing everything, rather it's about understanding the nature of things, our reactions to them, and how we can best navigate these waters. Wisdom helps us distinguish between what's in our control and what isn't. It guides us in our responses, helping to manage our emotions. Applying wisdom allows us to make better decisions, manage our emotions, and live a more fulfilling life. Let's now recap our journey through the 7 ancient wisdom tactics for managing emotions. We began by understanding the power of perception, recognizing that our emotions are shaped not by events themselves, but by our interpretations of them. From there, we moved to embracing the present, seizing the here and now, and not letting our emotions be swayed by past regrets or future anxieties. We then explored acceptance and detachment, learning to peacefully coexist with our emotions without letting them control us. This led us to practicing virtue, seeking to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and in doing so, cultivating emotional balance. Next, we delved into resilience and endurance, strengthening our emotional fortitude to weather life's inevitable storms. We also considered the temporary nature of life, reminding ourselves that our emotions too are fleeting. Finally, we looked at the application of wisdom, using these tactics to manage our emotions in a more balanced and enlightened way. By embracing these tactics, we can draw on ancient wisdom to navigate the emotional challenges of our modern lives.